can't even remember the last time I did pull-ups in a workout. You know, if you don't have pull-ups, I'm not telling you to not get them. I'll even show you how in this video. But honestly, and you might not want to hear this, if you've been working out for a long time and still don't have them, it's a problem. And it's also a problem if you've been doing them for decades. It's overkill and gonna cause issues. But I'm gonna show you 3 little known types of movement that 99% of people are just not doing, but that are way better for your strength and power and create superior shoulder sustainability. Only the 1% who are dedicated athletes likely know about these or how to do them. And if you don't have pull-ups yet, here, just copy me and do this. In fact, I can tell you from personal experience that I didn't gain pull-ups from any sort of gimmicks in contemporary fitness. No bands, no rows, not even a home pull-up bar, but rather the stabilization strength of the lats through a bonus methodology you'll understand by the end of this video. And even further, I progressed from a pull-up to a muscle-up to a one-arm pull-up at over 6 feet tall and close to 200 pounds without doing pull-ups at all, but rather the 3 movements I'm going to show you in this video. These 3 movement types will actually help you achieve pull-ups and beyond better than anything else you've tried thus far. 2 big problems with pull-ups that you need to understand though. People put themselves in all kinds of silly positions trying to get them. They do them with crossed legs like a caveman, which distributes weight unevenly. Just use your core and stabilize your body. People also arch their back and look sky high and have their arms way too wide for their level, trying to feel the pump like a bodybuilder. And we won't mention the C word here with all their antics. A pull-up can and should be done from all angles. Neutral grip, over grip, under grip, and it should progress along 2 paths. Closed shoulder angle and open shoulder angle. A closed shoulder angle will progress all the way to a hips to bar pull-up. An open shoulder angle will progress all the way to a behind the neck pike pull-up. Second, people do way too many of them. You don't eat steak every day, do you? I mean, maybe some of you do, I don't know. But variety in food and everything else in life is key. We are not robots, predestination aside. We are organisms that require variety and stress to fully thrive. Thus, we vary our training for our students daily. One day might be 5 rounds of straddle backs on silks and handstand wall walk-ups. See that? Pulling and pushing couplet for upper body strength, plus core and even legs. But we've seen so many people come from weightlifting, CrossFit, military, and everything else where they're doing thousands of push-ups a week spanning decades. We don't need to be anatomy experts to realize this is going to cause problems. The first little known movement type, and people who don't understand this haven't tapped into one of the most effective methods for training the upper body, the jump and pump. It's simply jumping up into position and catching yourself, and then not doing full reps, but actually just mini reps and pumping. One can do this with 2 hands or 1 hand. It can be done at various angles. It can even be done with the legs or the core or whatever else. It could be high volume and sets up to 50. It can also be done in singles. I remember I'd just be walking around the gym and just jump up and do a 1-arm pull-up position for a second and then jump down and keep going about my business. On a different occasion, I did pumping with bands to rehab my arm after a surgery. This was just a light band and reps up to 50 or 100. It's the pumping action that improves circulation on the one end of the spectrum, all the way to the other end where you're building max strength. This is a great way to get your first chin-up or pull-up as well. Like Drea here, who's a mother and lost 30 pounds and is now hand balancing, free running, and doing full ninja strength katas, not to mention pull-ups and chin-ups. And this jump and pump method are even built into level 1 and 2 ninja strength katas, where you're not just doing isolated reps, but whatever it takes to build the entire kata. It's a totally different ballgame. But we have to be honest with ourselves and admit, even me, that success comes through challenges, community, and moving outside your comfort zone, committing to new processes, and not giving up when things get inconvenient or difficult. And don't mistake videos for instruction, okay? Second little known move. And if people do this, it's often very wrong. If you aren't swinging, you aren't effectively training your upper body. Most people, when I ask them to get on the rings or the bar or do some swings, they jump up, the arms and lats flex, and they look at the ceiling or down at their feet, and they tighten all the way up, and it's a disaster waiting to happen. That's a surefire way to blow out a tendon. And the fear mongers get all riled up and hit the comments section with, "Oh, this is dangerous," or "You shouldn't be showing people that. It's gonna get people hurt." You wanna surround yourself with the exact opposite kind of people, okay? That aside, your arms are literally designed for swinging. If you're not swinging, you aren't using your upper body to even 50% of how it's designed to work. But realize that even a basic swing puts 2 to 3 times body weight of force on your shoulders. So there's the warning and the disclaimer. So for me, that's almost 600 pounds of force sometimes. And then do it on one arm. When people tense up, they're asking to rupture something or hurt their back. On the other hand, no pun intended, when done properly, and I shouldn't even say properly because that makes people think there's some mysterious technical element to fitness to obsess over. When we do it how we're designed to do it, like when we just played as kids, it's just natural, and it actually will build pull-ups. Now, it's not as effective as the jump and pump or the third move I'm going to show you, but it does help a great deal. I don't always sit around training one-arm pull-ups. Sometimes they'll go away, sometimes they'll come back. But I remember it surprised me when I was working on this circ routine using the aerial straps, and I was always hanging and swinging by one arm, and I could just do a one-arm pull-up out of nowhere. And that's another little key. If you're training for skills and ultimately having fun, it just takes care of itself. When we were in Spain recently for a workshop for our clients, there was also flying trapeze instruction there. Some of our students did it and it was awesome. One of the instructors had been doing circus performance for about 8 years or something, and to catch the students, he'd warm up with a couple hangs, pull-ups, and a one-arm pull-up on each side. And then we do our flying skills. It's just part of movement, part of life. Our coaches and students crushed it too. And you could tell who was doing a lot of swinging and hanging work leading up to that, such as in this kata. Third little known move is something that the mainstream is starting to copy but not quite getting it fully yet. It's hanging, but not just timed static hangs. It's hanging from all angles, even allowing your body to twist. I heard one time from some negative Nancy in the medical community decades ago when I was a kid about how parents shouldn't hold their kids by one hand because their body could rotate and hurt their shoulder. Sure, there's some truth to that, and you have to be aware and not be irresponsible. But at the same time, the shoulder is designed to go in all directions. And the people who aren't active and don't train in all directions are the ones who end up with injuries, or just feeling old, stuck, and frustrated. And then projecting that onto other people. Be that as it may, we were designed to climb and hang in all directions, just like similarly created and designed primates. 2 hands, 1 hand, skin the cat, inverted, meat hooks, arm behind the back, and a reverse flag. Even rotating like you see here. It doesn't need to be crazy, but in fact it can build up to quite incredible levels like one-arm aerial straps giants. Now, how did I get pull-ups without a bar, no bands, no gimmicks, and not even doing rows? The bonus methodology is completely counterintuitive. It goes against all of mainstream fitness. It's pushing to gain the pulling. Honestly, you don't even need to work on pulling strength to gain pulling strength, at least in the beginning stages, okay? Floor pushing like push-ups from all angles and handstand training, from frog stand all the way to one-arm handstands. Those help me to easily be able to do pull-ups and muscle-ups. And even better than doing pull-ups is bridge push-ups, where you're stretching in all directions to counter the pushing. But ultimately, you will only progress as far as you let yourself. Your mind is powerful. So what are the next steps as a beginner? Or maybe you're already advanced. You probably have a bunch of questions, and it's totally free to subscribe and opt in to ask our team. Plus you'll get secret videos, student journey stories, competitions with cash prizes, retreats, workshops, and more. And there's more videos about building your upper body strength on our channels. However, at the end of the day, you've got to decide where you want to be. 6 months, even 6 years down the line, people eventually dive in fully to their training with 100% commitment, which is great. Or you could start implementing today, and 6 weeks from now, you could already be making progress, for which you'll be thanking yourself when you're 60 years old. But it starts with not just watching videos, but taking the information and implementing today, like right now. See you in the next video and in training soon.